It's December in a couple of days. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my December TBR video. I thought I'd film down in my living room today so we could get the Christmas tree in the background. Wait, 1 second. That's better, the lights are now on. So yeah, I thought I'd film down here today to get all festive, and there's a slight twist to this TBR today because I'm not pulling prompts out of a jar. I'm not kind of allowing gods or fate to decide what I read. If you guys have been following me for the last couple of months now, a month and a half, coming up to a month maybe, I've been in a massive reading slump, the worst reading slump of the year so far, which is unfortunate seeing as we are coming up to the end of the year and there are still so many books I'd like to read. If you saw my November TBR game, you know how chaotic it was because I basically just scrapped everything that the TBR jar pulled at me. I basically said, nah, not having it. I want to pick the books I want to read. And although you guys seem to really love it and I got so many comments being like, this was absolutely hilarious, this was so fun to watch, I am not giving any control to the TBR jar or Goodreads or anything this month because there are some books I really want to get to, festive, Christmassy reads that are only appropriate for this time of year. So I don't want to kind of put fate in other people when I know what books I want to read by the end of the year, especially because I've been in a slump. So there's no point pulling prompts to read books I'm not interested in because I do want to try and combat this slump before the beginning of the new year so I can kick off 2024 strong with my reading. So that being said, I'm going to split this video up into two categories. One of all the festive books I want to get to by the end of the year, and I'm saying by the end of the year because it's not quite December as I'm filming this video, and when you guys see it I've got a couple days left, and I'm going to attempt to try and read some books before the end of the month. So these are basically the books I want to read in the last week of November and all of December basically. So end of year TBR part 2. And then the other section of this video are going to be books that are just currently calling my name and I would like to get to by the end of the year. If they don't happen, they don't happen. My priority is going to be on those festive reads, especially because I am coming out of a slump, so I don't want to like put too much pressure on myself. So that's kind of all I wanted to say before we jump into the books. So I have quite a stack of books that I would like to read in the last week of November / all of December. I'm going to start with the festive books because they make me very, very happy. And the books I'm actually probably going to start today, November 27th, because I have a whole reading vlog planned where I read all Christmassy books. So they're going to be my main priority, like I said. And the books I think I'm going to start with, which I think is going to get me out of my slump because it is a middle grade. I know I love this author. I know I love this world. It's going to be the perfect book that if I can get out of my slump, will pull me out of my slump. And that is the next Christmasaurus book by Tom Fletcher. If you don't know, Tom Fletcher wrote the entire Christmasaurus universe. The first one being the Christmasaurus, the second one being Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch, the third one being the Christmasaurus and the Naughty List. I've read them all previously. The Christmasaurus is one of my favourite books of all time just because of how Christmassy it is. When you want to read Christmas books and then the romances don't really pull through for you, you've got to rely on Tom Fletcher and the Christmasaurus universe because they are so festive, so Christmassy, and just so kind of like cozy. This is the next one. This came out only a month or so ago. I think it came out at the beginning of October, and it's a lot shorter than all the other ones. And I don't believe that you need to have read the previous Christmasaurus books to go into this one because I do believe this one is a standalone, and it basically follows Christmasaurus and the Christmasaurus gang, so William Trundle and all his friends, try and save Christmas from the Christmas Carol story and Scrooge. I was going to say Scrooge McDuck then. Not Scrooge McDuck. McDuck always just kind of like comes out of my tongue as I say Scrooge, but no, Scrooge. And I think what happens is the Christmas Carol characters, so Scrooge, etc., Ebony, all come out of their universe and into the Christmasaurus universe, and then Christmasaurus and the gang have to try and save Christmas in the Christmasaurus world from the Scrooges and etc. of Christmas. So I think this is going to be really, really cute. And I absolutely love these books because they have beautiful illustrations in. The illustrations are done by Shane DeVries, which he has done all the previous Christmasaurus books. So they all fit very, very nicely together on my shelf. And I'm so excited to have this next one in my collection. And this is going to be the book, hopefully, fingers crossed, that I start today and it will pull me out of my slump. And I just think it's a perfect book to read the week of December starting because it truly is so Christmassy. I'm so excited. And just thinking about reading this book is getting me excited to read again. So hopefully fingers crossed, it gets me out of my slump and I can go into the rest of the books very happy and back into reading. The next book I would like to read in the month of December, which is another Christmassy book, is The Holly Jolly Ever After by Julie Murphy and Sarah Simone, which is the second book to A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sarah Simone. I have googled this and apparently it's a sequel, but this book follows side characters of this one, so I have a feeling it's more like a companion series more so than a direct sequel. So I may want to reread this book before going into this one, which is why I've got both of them here. I may potentially read both of them again. They look so pretty together. I love when art styles are like really similar but different. I love both of these covers so much. This one follows Bea, who is a adult filmmaker, and she ends up becoming a lead in a Christmas family-friendly film, and then her co-star is an ex-boy band member, and they kind of get up to some steamy business on the sidelines, and they're trying to keep their relationship hidden because they're filming a family-friendly Christmas film, and there were a lot of steamy scenes in this book. So this is very much not a tame book. Per the cover, it's very much very steamy inside. However, this one follows a different band member of the same band from this love interest ex-boy band thing. Same band, different member. Same sort of premise, that Winnie Baker agrees to star in a steamier than a steaming cup of mulled wine Christmas movie. She has just one concern: how can she be sultry on screen when she's never been sultry in real life? So I don't think this main character, Winnie, is a adult film star. And then Callum is an ex-boy band member of the same band of this love interest. So I think that's kind of how they connect, but I don't think they're direct sequels. So I may not have to reread this one, but if I'm feeling in a massive reading mood and feeling very festive, I may read this one, but this is definitely more of a priority because this one came out this year. Both of them were kind of gifted to me by Harper Fiction. This one gifted to me last year, this one gifted to me this year, so I do really need to get to it, and I cannot wait to get to them, and I just love how pretty they look together. And yes, more festive steamy rom-coms, please. And then the last two Christmassy books I'd love to get to by December, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, because they will feature in my reading vlog that's coming out soon, fingers crossed, hopefully, that I get my reading mojo back. I brought both of them in Tesco the other day because I saw both of them and I couldn't resist them, and I was like, you know what, it was 2 for £9 on Clubcard. It's Christmassy, I'm ready, let's just do it, and hopefully they'll get me out of my slump because they got me excited to read again, having read the blurbs. So the first one that I picked up was The Christmas Bookshop by Sarah Morgan, and I've heard of Sarah Morgan before. She wrote Snowed In for Christmas, which I was always intrigued to read last year but never got around to it, so maybe if I really enjoy this one I can go back to Snowed In for Christmas. I'll put the cover up on screen now. This one basically is like my ideal sort of stuck in life, trying to restart your life, but set at Christmas, which is perfect for me. So this one says, it follows a long-lasting friendship. So Eric, Claudia and Anna reunite for their book club holiday. They're bonded by years of friendship and a deep love of books, but there's still so much they keep from each other. At the Cozy Maple Sugar Inn, how cute is that name? Hattie specialises in making her guests' dreams come true, but this Christmas all she wants is to survive the festive season. Between running the inn and being a single mother, Hattie is close to breaking point. The female friendships coming together from different points and then being in this like close proximity, it very much reminds me of A House of New Beginnings by Lucy Diamond, how all the female friendships kind of came together. Oh, I'm so excited. Over the course of an eventful week, Hattie sees the friends are each carrying around unspoken truths, but nothing prepares her for how deeply her story will become entwined in theirs. Will this Christmas be the end of the book club story or the start of a whole new chapter? And it's just that Christmas, books, friendship, intertwined. Oh my god, yes please. So many buzzwords in this book for me. I'm so excited. So I picked this one up first and I was like, I'll just do one. I'm in a reading slump. I don't need to add any more books to my TBR. And then Mark goes, but it's 2 for £9. And then I saw this one, I read the blurb and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do the deal. I'll get 2 for £9, what a shame. So this one is A Country Christmas by Veronica Henry. Once again, I recognize the author's name, but I've never read anything from her before. And I'm just really excited to read this one because this one is about Lucy. And Christmas is coming to Honeycoat House. And Lucy is busy ripping up a feast of festive treats for her nearest and dearest. She knows that this year's celebrations need to be extra special. Their beloved Cotswolds brewery is struggling and Lucy is sure that the secret her husband, Mickey, another reason why I got it, Mickey, is hiding isn't a diamond necklace in her stocking. As the scent of cinnamon fills the air and the glamorous guests start to arrive, Lucy suspects there are a few more secrets waiting under the Christmas tree. It's certainly going to be a holiday to remember. So this one seems a bit more like family dynamic, husband and wife having a bit of a sticky situation. but it was a country Christmas. It's basically set at Cotswolds, which I absolutely love the Cotswolds. It's Christmassy. It seems like there might be some baking involved, which is always cozy to read about. And I'm also very, very excited to read this one because the husband's name is Mickey. So that's kind of why I picked this book up as well. So these two I got from Tesco, and I'm very, very excited to read both of them. Both new authors for me. So yes, very excited to get into these ones. This TBR is stacking up to be a hefty page count already, and I have a few more books I would like to get to by the end of the year that aren't Christmassy. If I can, it would be great. The first one being, this one was on my end of year TBR, it's still on my end of year TBR, is Frederick Botman's book, My Grandma Sends Her Regards and Apologies. This one just screams autumn winter to me, so if I don't read it in the next 6 weeks, 5 weeks maybe, then I know I'm going to be putting it off until next year, and I don't want to put it off until next year. I haven't read a Frederick Botman book, that's a lie. I have, but I didn't enjoy it. A Deal of a Lifetime, which is his other novella, I have read and didn't really enjoy it. So this is the only full novel I will have read by him if I manage to get to it this year. I just need a bit of Frederick Botman in my life. He is such an emotional writer, and I just feel like I can imagine myself curling up with a blanket, a hot chocolate, and just absorbing myself into this book and just kind of like really feeling connected to characters. And I just think this is the perfect time of year to read it. I just hope I can. It's obviously going to be quite dense. It's going to be an emotional read. So I'm hoping some of the Christmassy books, the light, fluffy, easy ones, are going to get me out of my slump, and then I can kind of focus more on these ones nearer the end of the year, maybe in between that Christmas New Year period where time has no meaning, you're in no man's land, and you just kind of live day by day and just enjoy the kind of peace of Christmas and the excitement of the new year. So maybe that's when I'll hopefully get round to it. But this one basically follows our main character Elsa, also another Disney reference. And her grandmother had one superpower, the power of storytelling. And Elsa is very, very close to her grandmother. I think her grandmother ends up passing away, and Granny leaves Elsa a stack of her letters, apologising to those she has wronged. And it basically follows the journey of Elsa discovering these letters and kind of helping her grandmother right the wrongs that she made in her life through these letters, I believe. It's going to be a heart-wrenching book, and I cannot wait to read it. Hopefully I'll get to it by the end of the year. The second to last book I'd like to get to, which was also on my end of year TBR, so this one is also staying put, and that is The Secret of Happiness by Lucy Diamond. Just another one of those books where it's very family orientated. It follows stepsisters Rachel and Becca. Rachel ends up going missing, and Becca has to rifle through Rachel's belongings to try and figure out where she's gone, because no one kind of knows where she's gone to, and it kind of opens up a can of worms of secrets that Rachel has been hiding, and it's Becca's job to try and get Rachel home, etc, etc, etc. That's all I know about it. But I love Lucy Diamond's books. I love her storytelling. I love her characters. Obviously I've mentioned A House of New Beginnings already in this video, which I loved, and another one that when reading these two blurbs very much reminded me of was The Beach Cafe by Lucy Diamond. So yes, very much excited to read another Lucy Diamond book because I haven't read one this year, and I would like to read one by the end of the year because I do love Lucy Diamond and I am trying to get through her backlist. So that's another book that I would like to get to. And then the last one that's kind of on my maybe definitely higher priority TBR for the end of the year is The Vintage Shop by Libby Page. This is a new book to my radar the last couple of weeks. I have kind of been eyeing it up. I haven't been in the mood to read, but my TBR trolley has definitely been eyeing me up with some different titles that I haven't been interested in yet. I got this one just before my book buying ban, although my book buying ban kind of crumbled during my magical pop-a-thon, but that's fine. So I picked this one up when I was out with Emily from Emily Catherine Reads in July, as this is Libby Page's most recent book. I didn't want to get the hardback, so I was waiting for the paperback to come out. This is, I actually believe the hardback has a different title to the paperback. So this one's called The Vintage Shop, and I'm pretty sure the hardback is called like The Dress of Second Chances or The Dress of the Vintage Shop or something. It has dress in the title. I'll link it on screen for you, like the other title, which I find very strange. Like, yes, you usually get like a difference of title between the US or Australia or the UK, but you don't tend to get a difference of title between a hardback and a paperback. Very strange, but this one is called The Vintage Shop, and this one basically follows a couple of female characters, which is another massive buzzword for me, like multiple female characters within the same story that are woven in from one plot line. My ideal book, massively. That's what happens in The Beach Cafe by Lucy Diamond, what happens in The House of New Beginnings by Lucy Diamond, what kind of happens in The Secrets of Happiness, and definitely what seems to be happening in the Christmas bookshop, book club even. So it's definitely massive kind of buzzword for me, and definitely something that I love in books. And this one basically follows Lou, Donna and Maggie. Among the cobbled streets of Frome in Somerset, Lou is about to start something new. After losing her mother, she knows it's time to take a chance and open her own vintage clothes shop. In upstate New York, Donna receives some news about her family which throws everything she thought she knew into question. The only clue she has to unlock her past is a picture of a yellow dress. Maggie is in her 70s, newly divorced and all alone in an empty house. Visiting the little vintage shop in Frome, with its rows of beautiful dresses, brings back cherished memories she's long put aside. Could uncovering the secrets of the yellow dress help them unlock the next chapter? And I believe that Donna has obviously the picture of the yellow dress. I believe that Lou is then selling it and then Maggie is then going to buy it, and kind of like how this one dress tells so many stories. I'm so intrigued by this one. I definitely want to try and get to it. It's definitely a new one kind of on my radar, and I'm very, very excited to hopefully get to it. That is a lot of books to read for someone in a month-and-a-half long reading slump, but I have full faith that the Christmassy Carol is going to get me out of my slump, and then I'm going to read A Merry Little Meet Cute, which is a reread, which is a favourite of mine from 2022, and then that's going to be like, yeah, that was amazing. Then I'm going to go into A Holly Jolly Ever After, and then I'm going to make my way through the rest of the stack, which is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 books on my TBR. I can do this. I have faith. I'm getting excited now about reading Christmas books, so hopefully just that excitement to read festive reads will get me in the mood to read again. Obviously starting with the Christmassy Carol, because that one's just going to be such an easy read for me. It's going back into a world that I already know, characters I already know, writing style that I love. It has pictures, it's going to be easier to read because of all the illustrations, and obviously some of the text has like properly illustrated, so it's definitely a quicker read as well. So that's going to be where I start. Make sure you look out on my channel for that reading vlog that's coming, because I'll be reading all of the Christmas books mentioned in this stack in that video. So if you want thoughts on some Christmas books that you may be able to pick up, that will be coming out in the middle of December, so you still have time to read them if you want to before Christmas and the festive season ends. And that's kind of all I have time for today in today's video. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Hopefully I'm going to be back more consistently with videos in the next couple of weeks, because I have all of my end of year video content coming. It's been planned for months, so hopefully I can make that all happen for you guys. Best books of the year, worst books of the year, best new authors I've read this year, 2023 scrapbook flip-throughs, 2024 reading journals flip-throughs. So much content to be enjoyed, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from monthly TBRs, monthly wrap-ups, weekly reading vlogs, and any other bush content that you can think of I usually have on this channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any. And with that being said, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.